Hi, Mr. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, so just to kind of recap what we've done so far. So last week we met and you filled out lots of forms, and so we're coming back to kind of review those forms. But I know that one of the goals that we had set last time was that Jeff was having some tantrums, and our hope is to decrease those tantrums. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. And is that still your current goal?
Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
excellent. All right, so I was going to go over the checklist that you filled out last week. So, you know, feel free to chime in with any concerns or comments about either of them.
Okay.
So the first one that you completed is called the Strengths and Difficulties Questionnaire. And so what that really does is kind of help assess Jeff's behaviors and how they are in your environment. So you and Dad both filled out those forms, and from the scores that were there was with Jeff. His behaviors are significant and frequent, and that they do have a significant impact with your family on a daily basis. Does that sound about right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then also with the parenting scale, what that really looks at is the different parenting styles of a parent. And so when you filled out a checklist, Dad filled one out. So with your checklist, it looked like maybe sometimes you're a little more relaxed with discipline, and maybe Dad kind of overreacts sometimes. Do you feel like that's true?
Definitely. I'm just like, he's just a kid,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But my husband is like military, very like, you shouldn't be acting like this. And
Okay. Yeah. So that kind of showed me that. So it seems like that's a good representation.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for the parent problem checklist, that really looks at if there's a lot of disagreements between the way that you discipline. And your scores were both low. So that tells me that you do agree with the way that you discipline each other. Just maybe how you react to things is a little different.
yes,
Okay.
yes, that's fair.
And then the other checklist with the relationship quality index, and so that kind of looks at if both you and Dad feel like your relationship is good and strong, and both of you do reflect that based on your scores. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, we're a team. It's just, we just handle things differently.
No, for sure. And then the last checklist that you guys filled out is the depression and anxiety stress scale. And so with those scores, the ones that you had filled out, it looked like you were stressed and then also maybe had some depressed, sad moods. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Dad seemed to be also stressed, but also a little more anxious. Do you feel like that? You see that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I see those qualities more in myself than I do in him, but I'm sure numbers aren't gonna tell us different, so yeah.
Okay. All right. And then so, to kind of summarize this, it looks like Jeff has his tantrums. They occur very often. They're very disruptive to your life. You and Dad seem to react differently a little bit to Jeff's behaviors. Maybe you're a little more lax with discipline. Dad overreacts a little bit, but you have a strong relationship. You agree with discipline. So that's a really good strength for you guys. And then with you, maybe you have a little more depressed mood, a little more stressed, and then Dad's also stressed, but maybe a little more anxious. Do you feel like that's a good summary from the forms?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, so to review what I did well, during this scenario, I felt I did a good job reviewing the checklists and making sure I was checking in with you and seeing if you agree with it. A way that I could improve was maybe to be a little more open-ended and like giving you a little more chance to talk more versus me talking at you.